One night before bedtime, Dad said, "Tonight I will tell you a story about the most boring man in the world." Ali said, "Great, and I will paint it." This is the story Dad told while Ali painted. Once upon a time, in a small town in a distant land, lived the most boring man in the world. He lived in an ordinary beige house, in an ordinary neighborhood, full of ordinary grey streets. Every day, this man did exactly the same thing. Every morning, he put on a boring green shirt and boring green trousers. But because his clothes weren't beige or grey, he was pleased. Every day at mealtime, he would sit in his green kitchen and eat slices of green cucumber and green apple, topped off with spoonfuls of green peas. He was pleased with his green food. This man spent every morning painting at his table. He had only opened one jar of paint, green paint. He was so pleased with the colour green that he covered each paper with green paint. Then he would hang his new green painting on the wall next to all his other green paintings. This man spent every afternoon playing the piano. But whenever he played only one note. Do, 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 do. But he liked that note. He was pleased. One morning, while he was painting a green painting, as he did every day, a butterfly flew in the open window and sat on his nose. Then it fluttered down on the page. This butterfly was blue and yellow and orange with black legs. The butterfly tiptoed all over the green paper, leaving tiny footprints in the green paint. Then it flew away. "Oh!" gasped the man. "That is the most beautiful thing I ever saw." He wanted to paint the colours of the butterfly, but the only jar he had ever opened was the jar of green paint. Now he was so excited, he opened some of the other jars. He opened red, yellow and blue. For the first time, he added other colours to his green page. Red flowers, a blue sky and a yellow sun. He was more pleased than usual. That afternoon, the man remembered the butterfly. He remembered how beautiful his green painting had become when he added other colours. So, he began adding other notes to his tune. Do, 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 dee, 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 dum, 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 he played. Then, he mixed them all up. Do, do, dee, dum, dum, dee, dum, dum, do. He was so pleased with his new tune, he hummed it the rest of the day. The next morning, the man got up and looked at his green clothes. He remembered the butterfly and his beautiful painting. He remembered his happy new tune. He wanted to wear something new. So, he got in his car and drove out of the beige town, down the long grey road, until he came to another town. The first thing he saw was a bright blue building with a yellow sign on the front that said, "Clothes sold here." He went inside and started laughing out loud. There were so many colours. He bought blue pants and a red shirt and black shoes and a bright orange tie. The man was so happy with the way he looked in his beautiful clothes. He remembered the butterfly. He hummed his new tune. He smiled down at his new clothes. He decided to try something else new. He was hungry. What do you think he did? The man walked down the street, looking in the windows. He stopped in front of an ice cream parlour and stared at all the colours and flavours. He went inside and bought a scoop of pink strawberry ice cream with chocolate sprinkles. The taste was so wonderfully sweet, he began to hum his new tune. His smile ran from one ear to the other. He was very, very pleased. He walked to the park and sat on a bench. He admired the green trees and the green grass. He still loved green. He enjoyed watching the children play, the birds splash in the fountain, and the people walking by. Just then, he saw the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. She was wearing an orange shirt, a yellow scarf, brown slacks and black shoes. Standing on the green grass, she looked just like the butterfly who had visited him. The man walked over to her. "Would you like an ice cream?" he asked. She smiled and nodded. So they walked back across the street to the ice cream parlour. To his amazement, she pointed to the pistachio ice cream, which was green. The man and woman looked at each other and both smiled. They were both very, very pleased. Hand in hand, they licked their ice cream as they walked out in the green field together. Laughing out loud, the man saw that they had walked right into his painting. A green field with red flowers, a blue sky, and a bright yellow sun. He taught the woman to hum his happy tune. They hummed and ate ice cream and walked in the park. And they were very, very, very pleased. When Dad finished his story, Ali showed him her paintings. Dad smiled and said, "Well, I guess he's not so boring after all." And they laughed together.